Chofei B'Kislev, 25th of Kislev. Maschil Shmonos Chanukah. The 8 days of Chanukah begin on the 25th of Kislev. Now, Vasurim Behesed V'Tainus. During this 8-day period, you're not permitted in Hesped to say eulogy, and you're not permitted to fast during Chanukah. Avul Mutorim Basis Malocha, but you're permitted to work. There's a minhag among women that as long as the candles are burning, they don't do any work. Work means like sewing. Doesn't mean they can't straighten up the house. And others say, although it's a minhag, this is a minhag which should not be compromised. You should not be lenient regarding the women, that they should observe this custom, that as long as the candles are burning, the candles means within the half an hour period. Let's say a person lights the candles, burns for 4 hours. Doesn't mean beyond, we're not talking beyond the time of the mitzvah. Because one can put the candles out after half an hour. You can, after half an hour after nightfall. You can put them out. You put them out. You put them out. There's an inyan to let them burn, presuming Nisa, but in terms of an obligation, you have no obligation. But during the half an hour period, he says you should not be lenient, and you should not compromise on this minhag for women. It's the right thing. Maschil Shmos Yemei Chanukah. We begin the 8 days of Chanukah. He quotes the Rambam. Ki b'Bayis Sheni. When did Chanukah take place? During the Bayis Sheni. Okay? Kishemolchu Malchei Risho. When the evil empire reigned, Gozru Gzeres al Yisrael Bitlu Datom. They issued decrees to nullify the religion. And they didn't allow them to engage to study Torah, do mitzvahs. And they plundered their possessions and their daughters. They defiled their daughters. Things weren't so simple. I mean, as the Gemara says, the Gemara discusses Ksubas, it wasn't the Greeks, but it wasn't uncommon that they issued a decree that before a Jewish woman, before she cohabited with her husband, she had to have relations with the governor before she would have relations with her husband. And whatever, right, exactly. This Gemara Ksubas story. It's called the Hegmon. They went into the sanctuary, parts of protzos. They made breaches there, v'timu hatoros. And they contaminated all that was pure. V'tzar lem l'Yisrael ma'od mipneim. And they oppressed them greatly, the Jews. U'lechotzem lachatz godel. And the oppression was great. Acharichem aleim elokei avoseinu. Until Hashem, the God of our forefathers, had mercy upon them. Voshio miyodom votzilom. He saved them the hands, and he saved them. V'govru bnei Chashmonoi hakohanim hagdolim. And the sons of the Chashmonoi, who were high priests, they were empowered. V'arogum voshia Yisrael biyodom. They brought the salvation. V'chozr malchus li Yisrael yoser al Mosai Mishana. Od arachurban. And the Malchus Yisrael, the kingdom of Israel, was restored for more than 200 years until it was destroyed. Churban Hasheni. Uchshegozru gavru Yisrael al Yeveim v'ibdum. When the Jews were victorious over their enemy and they destroyed them, Chofei b'Kislev foyo. What day was the victory? When they finally drove them out. It was on 25th of Kislev. Nichsu lehechol. They entered into the covered sanctuary. That's where the menorah is. Lo motzu shemetor b'migdosh. They weren't able to locate pure oil. Elapach echod sho yemunach b'chosama shel kohen gadol. They found one vial that had the seal of the kohen gadol. V'lohoyabo lahadlik el yom echod bilvod. And there was only sufficient oil to burn for one day. V'naseh nes v'dliku meno neros hamarocha shmona yomim. And the oil, a miracle took place, and it burnt for 8 days. Koshu zeisim, until they pressed other olives, utziv shementor, and they were able to extract pure oil. Therefore, they legislated, they enacted that these days, they begin on the 25th of Kislev, the days of joy and praise. It's all the Rambam is quoting verbatim. We light candles in the evening on the entrances of our homes every night of these 8 nights. Laharos ulagalos hanes, to show and to reveal the miracle. Umitzvah divrei sofrim, there's a rabbinic mitzvah as the reading of the Megillah on Purim. Yom Elohim nikrom Chanukah. Rotzelom, what does it mean Chanukah? Chonu chofeh. There was a respite on the 25th. Shebechofeh chonu miyaveim. They were relieved of their enemies. Umnei shehingim esimcha v'halel. And because the days of joy and praise, l'kach osa ben hesped v'tainis. Therefore, we're not permitted to say eulogy and to fast. Nogam haniyim l'sabi b'Chanukah al hapsochim. The haniyim, they go and they seek out alms on Chanukah v'yesh tam l'zeh, and it has reason. Good.
Only the Kohen Gadol seal allowed for the oil?
No. An indication that it was pure oil, the Kohen Gadol will put his seal on it.
But only he could do it?
That's the way that. Only he, yes. That was an indication. If his seal was on it, it's not that he personally put the seal on it. He allowed that his seal should be put on every vial that had pure oil. That was an indication of absolute purity. That's Tosa's question. Right? So that's because it's rabbinical. That a non-Jew contaminates, the only thing that a non-Jew contaminates his remains. But anything else, regardless of what his state is, he can't contaminate. Even if he comes in contact with the dead, he doesn't transmit the contamination. If he has an emission, there's no contamination. So the whole thing was rabbinical. So the Nes, Hashem performed a Nes, so we should be able to maintain the rabbinic fence. That's exactly what happened at Chanukah. Wine is not. This is contamination. Right? It's not because the wine's contaminated. It's forbidden. What? It's a rabbinic. I understand that, but it's not because. But it's not because of contamination. We learned in the Gemara in Avodah Zarah because Goyim were very suspect of child molestation, and they would sodomize children. So what happened? So they said non-Jews have tumazav. The person has a flow. It's an intense level of contamination. He touches anything, moves anything, contaminates. So because they wanted Jews should keep their children away from Goyim. Because Jews, they lived within a context of purity. So by legislating this, classifying them as contaminated, this area, the what? And this would identify exactly why. It's tumaziva. Ziva is from the male organ. It's a flow. So that was the basis of rabbinic fence, for rabbinic legislation. So now if the non-Jew touches the oil, what is he doing? It's a rabbinic contamination. Because there's no such thing as a non-Jew contaminating when he's alive. It doesn't exist. If you contact. There's a question, it's an argument, that's the argument. What about Tumas oil? It's machlokas Rav Shimon Yochai and the Chachomim. Question how we rule. That's why there's a chumrah that a person is a Kohen. If he doesn't have to go to the hospital, to visit someone, he shouldn't go. Because there's a question of somebody in the hospital, it's inevitable, somebody's in the morgue or whatever it is. Even though the majority are goyim, it doesn't make a difference. But if a non-Jew contaminates even in an oil, so it's a problem. Okay, let's see the Chovos Levavos. It's not a real hesped. Would you bring people to cry? Eulogy. Even that's not so simple. Did you say anything? That you don't say. That you say. Some people won't say anything. They say they won't even. That's it. Kel Mole and that's it.